Hi, and welcome to another ARKit iOS workshop hosted by Ideas and Coffee via Meetup and run by Zoom. Um, okay, so in this workshop, we're going to be importing models from TurboSquid into Xcode. And let's get started. If you want,
Nice.
I can run through the process if you're
That'd
interested.
be great. Why don't you do one? That's great.
Okay. All right, cool. So let me go see here. Okay, let's stop that. And let's just go ahead and do that. So I'm going to search for 3D model. One I searched for was robots. And I click on that. And that's going to give me everything, in the whole world that's 3D robots. The first thing to change is set it to free. This 288 there. And that's going to filter it down to just the free ones. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to change the formats right here. And by the way, I made an account. Obviously, it's free.
Hmm.
Just the only thing you have to provide is your email. So I did that already. But basically, we want to do is we want to select DAE to Collada right here. And gosh, you should see the prices of some of these objects. This one's $164. 400 and is that wild? $499.
Yeah, I met a number of people at Oculus that are basically either 3D artists or virtual artists, and that's all they do full time, and they sell their stuff.
Hello. There we go. So this is showing me just the DAE and the free stuff. That way,
Hmm.
we're just gonna get what we need here. Do you guys like the puppy robot? Oh, it's
Hmm.
just
It's cute.
$84. Okay, I wonder why it's showing me that anyway. It's not available for free.
Mm.
So, I wonder it's not turned it on. Okay, well, whatever.
I think
All
that
right,
Blue Hand was free.
which one?
Blue Hand.
Oh, the blue hand. Okay, perfect. Let's get a blue hand. And all right, let's do that. So click it, select it, and let's download. All right, sweet. So let's click on the F on whatever it's called .dae, and it's downloading. And then what I'll do is I'll just grab. I'm just going to move this here so I can see it to my downloads. There it is. So cool. So I'm just going to bring it into Xcode. Simply, it's just so simple. You just drag it right here and copy. Now, let's let it do its thing. And then once it's showing up on the screen, we'll do the conversion to a scene.
Okay.
Okay, here we are. All right, cool. So there it is. You can see that there's a scene graph and all these different objects.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
What we need to do, and yeah, you can go through and edit each one and all that stuff, but we're not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I need a master node that all of these nodes fit it in. And let me explain. What happens is in Xcode later, we're going to tell Xcode to bring the object in, but we don't want to bring all of these different nodes in like this. There's going to be 40 nodes that we need to bring in. So what I do is I create a new one, and I'm going to call it hand. Edit. like this. And I'm going to move this at the root. I'm going to make everybody a child to the hand like this. Oops, I didn't do it right. Well, I guess it should have done it like, no. Well, I guess I'm going to move them all by hand. No pun intended. Like that. Let's see, go for it. There we go. So now I have the hand and I can select the entire hand like that and select all the objects together. Did that make sense, right?
Right. So when it comes in, it doesn't have a parent node, so you make it.
Right, so when I bring, so when I specify, you'll see when I go into the code later and specify the object, the node that I want to bring in, I just have to, I just say bring in the hand, and then I say either recursively or non-recursively. In this case, I won't need to do it recursively because everything's already in the hand. It's already a subdirectory, I suppose, if you want to call it that way. The thing that we need to check though, well, actually, so let's do this. Now that we have this as a DAE properly set up, what I want to do is I want to convert it to a scene kit file format right here. So I go convert to scene kit file format, select that, and it's going to create a whole .scn file, which then I put into the art.scn cassettes, SCN assets. So here we go like that. And I have my scene now easily referenced by Xcode. So this is what we want to work with right now. Let's just pull it up, and you see the hand now, and it has all of its components.
So what is that name that it gave it when you did that?
The FRR, that's actually the name that came in from, and let's rename it. It's,
oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to call it hand, like that.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, that's actually when you recall, these were the names that they used on TurboSquid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, good call to rename that. That makes our lives a lot easier. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the size, because remember we're working in meters in our scene, and so I'm placing the objects about 1 meter ahead of us. So we want to make sure that the hand isn't either too big or too small. And to do that, what we do is we select this like that. I select the root node, and we verify the bounding box right here on the right under the inspector. You're going to see that our width is 11 meters wide. It's 1 meter high, and it's 7 meters in depth. Way too big. That's actually, it's going to fill up the whole room. And so we're going to make the scale, even 1/10 would be too big. I'm going to go 0.05 on each of the X, Y, and Z axes.
Okay.
And now I can't see it, but that's okay. I can zoom in, and we can, get back into the object right there. So here she is. There's our hand, X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
And I now have to go into the code. So yeah, we have this in the SCN scene assets. We have got our hand. Let's go check out the view controller, and let's bring it in. Let's bring our code in to get this working. I posted on, I have a gist posted. Let me go and post that in the messages here so that we can look at that. Where is, okay. So this is the working code that we'll end up with if anybody wants to just have that as a reference.
Okay.
And this is where I'm going to grab what I need, so I don't have to type there. But basically, yeah, what we want to do is we want to add a hand. And to do that, I'm going to go into the code. And when we touch, when we hit the thing, we're going to say add hand. because right now all it does is add a box. And then we'll create a function here, like so. And so the first thing we need to do is,
instead of fund.
oh, fund. Thank you, Jamie. Let's fix that. So the first thing we want to do is add in the hand scene, basically, right? I'm going to copy that and modify. In the gist, it's robot scene, but we'll just call this hand scene like that.
Okay.
And here, instead of that, it's going to be hand dot scene. Okay, and then the rest should be pretty simple. I'm going to copy the rest of the code here, which is basically, let's do the hand node. And we're going to do that. So remember how this is the scene file is hand. This right here is the same name, but it's not to be confused with this name right here. This is actually the name of the first node. Remember when we looked at this hand scene, we had this right here, the first node. I called it hand. I could have called it hand node or whatever, just to be less confusing. This hand node has to match in the code right here.
Okay.
Like that. And that's going to let me bring in all of the child nodes.
Okay, so you have the hand scene and the hand node, which is the parent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so hand node here. And it's an optional because, you know, if something failed, if we didn't have the right, you know, the right name or whatever, we would have a problem, right? So we're going to let Xcode know about that. And then this is going to tell it that we're going to position it on the z-axis a meter away from us, in front of us. So on the x is going to be 0, the y, and then the z-axis is going to be -1. And then we do add, so we add to the scene our root node. And instead of hand node, robot node, it's again called hand node. And here, if something went wrong, we're actually going to force unwrap it, and it'll just crash if we didn't do our work properly. So sometimes you want that. All right, let's see what we have. Add hand, and I think we should be able to check this out right now. Yeah, let's give it a shot and see where we're at. Okay, so there's the origin. I wish that, you know, it's so weird. It only does that when I'm recording, and it doesn't do it. Normally, Xcode gets brought front and center when you hit run, so I have to remember that. But there's our hand.
Yes.
Okay, looks
cool.
good. Yep. So it's about a meter. Yeah, it's about a meter ahead of the origin.
And that was like 0.0.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was. So I made it really small. Remember, because of the going back to the hand.scene here, we can change that. Let me go ahead and select the node. 0.05, 0.05. So we can make it a little bit bigger. How about 0.1 might be really big, but let's try it. There we go. Okay, this is a good spot to take a break. In the next video, we'll take the hand that we imported here and we'll do some hit testing on it to see when a user interacts with the object.